As a representative of a union with over 60,000 members working in over 2,240 public schools across New South Wales, I stand here proudly today with my colleagues from the non-government sector and the parents who represent the children who are in our schools every day of the school year. Colleagues, this is an issue, and friends, this is an issue we cannot afford to lose. As already been pointed out to you, this is an issue that has the potential to change for all time. The quality of education, the type of education we deliver in our schools. It has the potential to narrow the curriculum so much that if we follow the English example and learn from what's happening in England, we'll reduce our education system to a dry husk. It'll suck the life from it and leave us with a narrow curriculum in which matters such as, or subjects such as music go by the board, physical education go by the board, excursions go by the board. Those activities that teach cooperation, sharing and problem solving go by the board because we'll be concentrating day after day on coaching and preparing for a narrow set of tests that measure very little indeed of great value. Having said that, we're not opposed to transparency, we're not opposed to accountability. In fact, we're not opposed to rich contextualised data, whatever that may mean to ministers these days. But we certainly are opposed to data which misleads, data which deceives, data which misinforms and obfuscates and denies parents the very thing it claims to provide. And that's why we're opposed to league tables. And we're certainly opposed to media outlets that are more concerned with boosting their flagging newspaper sales than the damage they'll cause by naming, blaming and shaming our students, schools and communities. In recent months, we've seen 2 league tables published in Australia of some significance. In May, we saw the Hobart Mercury publish a league table which ranked the schools in Tasmania from 1 through to what they called the bottom. I might say it happened 24 hours after the Premier of that state praised a school in Tasmania as one of the best in the state. Well, guess where it ranked the following day when the league table was published? Right near the bottom. And guess what the league table in Tasmania provided when it was published in the Hobart Mercury? It provided you with a list, a ranking of socioeconomic disadvantage in Tasmania. Nothing more, nothing less than that. It certainly didn't provide a guide to which schools were providing effective education. It certainly didn't provide a guide to where quality teachers were located, providing quality education to students. And if you look just a few weeks ago in the Courier Mail in Brisbane, the Queensland Government decided to release all the data from last year's NAPLAN assessments. And the Courier Mail, obviously just motivated by the desire to provide information to the community, one would never suggest it's about newspaper sales, published a 24-page guide to every school in Queensland. They weren't particularly concerned about the rich contextual data, which ministers talk about, that should be provided if you're going to publish information about schools arising from NAPLAN. They weren't interested in providing that, but they did, of course, go into in-depth analysis. Well, guess what they discovered? They discovered that schools that have a high proportion of Indigenous students don't perform as well in the league tables as those that don't. They discovered that kids who go to schools in working class areas don't do as well as those kids who could go to school in affluent areas with middle class parents with all the resources and facilities that they have. This was the in-depth analysis they provided in Queensland to provide the guide so you didn't misinterpret the league tables that they published on that occasion. Now, the Reverend Fred Nile talked about parents being entitled to accurate information. There is no question whatsoever parents are entitled to accurate information. They're entitled to information that informs them. They're entitled to information that guides them in their decisions about their children's education and enables to assist their education. There are many ways that that's provided already. Very detailed information is provided to parents, and parents get very detailed feedback from schools, and certainly that is more reliable than anything the Daily Telegraph proposes to publish in any league table in this state or any other newspaper proposes to publish in any other state. The Reverend Fred Nile said it's time for a truce between the Teachers Federation and the government. Well, let me tell you, there will be no truce on this matter. There will be no truce on this matter until league tables are dispensed with. We will not abandon our students, we will not abandon our schools, and we will not abandon our communities on this matter.